This is what you call a tight range on the SPY. From about 533 to about 531.50. Point and a half. This is doesn't get much flatter than that. Market really, really flat. Doesn't really get much flatter than this. Take a look at NOC, Roger. Getting into some of the defense stocks here. Northrop Grumman. Yeah, nice move up in Northrop Grumman. It looks it's got a very nice setup. It's got earnings on 4/22. It's got earnings next week, so be careful as far as that. As far as the if you're in the trade, make sure you get out of it before 4/22. Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin also up this morning about 2%, right at a resistance level, and Raytheon up just a tiny bit this morning. Northrop's nice setup on Northrop Grumman, though. Nice look on that one, Roger. Joe points out the market internals are switching to slightly bullish. Yeah. Slightly is the key word here. The SPY's not doing anything. Sell H slowly grinding up, Ali. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good setup on Sell H. I mean, it's listen, it's not a fast moving stock, but it is grinding up today, up almost 2%. SPY sitting right on the VWAP. I mean, almost flat on the 15 in the VWAP right now. APLD up to 371. It's got a pivot point up here it needs to get through. It's about 385. Gets to 385, will be in profits. Yeah, that's right, Joe. You give the internals a minute and they'll switch back to neutral and slightly bearish. There's just no direction to this market at all. And again, everybody's just waiting for some news to happen. Then the algos will grab a hold of that. And all these little bitty candles that look great that you're trying to squeeze out a few pennies get wiped out immediately. So very dangerous trading environment here. Pretty funny, Ryan. Says the market doesn't get much flatter than this. So this guy on YouTube, Ryan Desmond's on YouTube, he says, "You haven't seen my ex-girlfriend." Oh my! People are getting stir crazy.
There's something.
There's no markets. It's so flat. It's unbelievable. It looks like straight lines across. People are trying to trade this crap. Good morning, YouTube. Morning, WMB. How are you? It's like a huge candle on the SPY here. I tell you, we did very well getting profits in USB today. That worked out very nicely. We had nice profits in Walmart. That worked out very nicely as well. In this market, squeezing out a couple of wins like that is a big bonus. A little pop of the SPY. So again, if you were doing a SPY super system trade here, you probably make 10-15 cents on this move so far. It hasn't gotten above this. This is a resistance right here. This is the entrance into the high of the day right here, which gets you into this gap. Who knows if it's going to do this? This is just dead market. Very difficult to put any straddles or strangles on when you look at the price action. There's so much compression. The last thing you really want is to trade from a compression for a straddle or a strangle. You need some price. You need some movement, and compression just bleeds away all your time decay. Gold gapped up, flat as a pancake after that. Nvidia gapped down, still drifting down. Apple just gapped down and just kind of moving sideways right now. MSTR got up almost to a little through that 317 and pulled back. Roger, Groupon, take a look at Groupon. Yeah, 3.5% today. Another nice chart. This is Roger picks out some really nice charts as far as the daily chart is concerned. You see this move up in Groupon. Nice move here. Just kind of doesn't go very far. Look at this thing doesn't make big moves. All right, this is a pretty tight range in Groupon, but it is breaking out today, trying to get above yesterday's high, right there, which is 1969, and the high the previous day was 1978. So a break above 1978 gets to be a breakout. Again, don't expect big, huge moves in this thing, but this is a nice chart. I mean, you know what the market's been doing, right? If you look at the SPY, we go back here and switch this over to the daily chart on the SPY and Groupon. This is what the SPY's been doing. Look at this. Look at the SPY action. Just chopping down all the way down here. This is on a daily chart. Then moves up a little bit. Then moves down and then moves way down. You see what Groupon's doing? basically it's just doesn't care what the market's doing. So that's a nice look on Groupon. Don't know what the options look like on it, but that's a nice look on Groupon. In this market, at least it's got some consistency to the price movement. And Groupon trade's not bad. If you like Groupon, I mean, I do like the setup on Groupon. Doesn't have earnings until the 8th of May. This is kind of a nice setup on Groupon. I think what I would look at on Groupon, if you're going to take longs, is the $18 calls expiring May 2nd. $18 calls expiring May 2nd. They're going for 220, which isn't bad. I mean, you get quite a bit of time on this one. The spreads are fairly tight, 210 by 230. It's got 2,100 contracts on it right now. Open interest. No trade, no volume today. There's not a lot of volume in the stock, but there is quite a bit of open interest on that $18 call. 210 by 230. You pay about 220 for the $18 call. It's got $1.67, close to $1.70 of intrinsic value. You're paying about 50 cents for 3 weeks of time. Not a bad setup. You can also buy the stock if you want, but the options are decent. About $1.25 or so. Not a very fast-moving stock, but the pattern is very nice. Pretty slow market here. I mean, really slow. It's about 11:20. Robert, looking at Bud, surprisingly strong. Yeah, gap up here this morning on Budweiser. Up about 3%. That's a pretty nice little move in Budweiser. This gap's all over the place. Lots and lots of gaps at Budweiser. but it's in a nice move. It's a little, for me, it's a little extended from the 8, but it's a nice setup. Definitely outperforming the market today by quite a lot. TRV looks like it's doing its own thing, William. WMB. Let's see. Travelers. Yeah, earnings. Had earnings this morning. Made a nice little move up here on earnings, up 4%. Choppy stock. Insurance companies have been at least outperforming the market, but this thing has been very choppy. If you look at Travelers, very choppy. Just came down with the market hard here on those tariffs, and then bounced right back up again when the tariffs came off. But this is a nice move today. But you can see it's just above the top of that candle. It does have a gap fill right to here, to about 261.88. But you see it opened here, pulled all the way down here, and now it's all the way back up here again. So earnings, quite a bit of volatility, not an awful lot of volume for an earnings trade. Yeah, pointed out by the Discord folks, we have 115, we have Papa Powell. That's what they call him, Papa Powell. Jay Powell, Fed chairman's going to be speaking today. I don't expect there's going to be, there'll be questions on tariffs, what effect they're going to have. They're going to say the rates are going to, any movement they make in the rates are going to be dependent on data. They'll talk about what they think is going to happen, but I don't expect it to have too much of a. He typically doesn't before Fed meetings. He typically doesn't say anything that's going to be too disruptive. Cheap beer and smokes. That's right, Shay. Cheap beer and smokes. You got Budweiser and you got Altria and Philip Morris. Philip Morris, especially, is performing nicely. But Groupon is a nice stock setup. GRPN, very nice setup on GRPN. Again, not a fast-moving stock, but looks pretty nice. Here's a SPY finally with a little bounce. About 11:23 here right now. Market with the best green candle we've seen today. Here's where it's trying to get above, though. You see it's got to get above that candle right there. Break into the gap again. Just about there right now. Nice little pop in the SPY. So if you took that SPY super system trade and you're still in it, you did very well. The options jumped from when we looked at it, it was about 280. They're at 379. You're up about $1 on them right now. Again, it's hard to judge where this was kind of coming from. Nice little move in the SPY. Moving up toward that pivot point to feel the gap is right up here.
remember seeing a quick pop in markets, not seeing anything specific as of yet, news-wise, but we are seeing a volume pop in markets across the board.
Okay, a little pop on the SPY, the best we've seen today. Like a little candle right there. So again, if you took the SPY super system trade back here that we talked about, said it was a setup but not very high probability, it did bounce right there. Scoring. Oh boy. Fun never ends at Luma.
Well, this is easy
Yeah.
compared to Tesla.
That's good. What did you have to call again?
So engineering was working on some kind of a fix, and they took all the air-to-steam tablets out of the
Like out of kiosk?
automatic.
Yeah. So,
They're working on it, so they're all showing.
do they test any of these things before they just do it? Or some of them over their store without testing it.
I don't know.
They're probably overwhelmed.
Probably.
They're not exactly planning this shit.
You need to plan.
No time for a plan.
Just do it.
clam chowder. All right. So market, we did get a little bit of a bounce in the SPY. Take your money when you can. That's a big bonus here this morning on that trade if you happen to be in it. Again, Groupon, a nice setup. Roger pointed this is a nice setup on Groupon. It's pulling back a little bit right now, but the daily chart is very nice on Groupon. You see what you got here. This is a pretty nice pop here on Groupon as it comes out of this compression. Yeah, I like Groupon. Been doing well since the earnings down here. LPD up to about 379 right now. Get as high as at 387 on APLD. Trading at 40 cents right now. Again, we get in about 35. Yeah, about 35 cents. So right now it's trading at 40 cents. It's up about a nickel. About maybe 10%. Again, got a sell order at 50. I don't know if it'll get there or not, but we'll see. It's trading 381. Gets close. It gets into the 390s. We'll get it. We'll get filled. This is the chart right now on APLD. See what this likely is going to be some resistance here halfway up this big red candle, which would likely get us out. That'd be around 397. That would put the options in the money by 47 cents. We should be able to get filled at 50 at that point. MSTR, by the way, has gotten past the 317. It's 317.62 right now, so it's back above that breakout. So if anybody's still in MSTU, which I am, let's see where it's at right now. Again, I paid $1.25 for these April 25th calls. They're 90 by $1.15. They got kind of spread kind of wide for the $5 calls. 90 by $1.15. Obviously, they're worth 90 cents. That's the intrinsic value. So, let's probably shoot for about $1.50 on these things. MSTU's got room to the 50, which is 639. It's about 50 cents higher. I'm going to set a sell order on this for $1.50 just in case it gets there. So SPY with a little pop, and now coming right back down again. Again, this is a very tough market to try to trade. If you stayed in this long enough, you could take a little bit of profits here. That was actually about $1 profit in the SPY super system, but for hard to stick with this kind of trade price action. Again, very difficult to stay in these trades very long. This pop got you your profits. Take advantage of it and get out. Let's see, got a few questions over here. USAR still running. Ryan, USAR was beautiful. Really beautiful trade. It moved up. I had some horizontal resistance levels in this thing. I had it the other day and took some nice profits in it. If you happen to keep going, it moved right through these other ones, right up to this resistance level this morning, and then fell off of that, off from 1768. But that was a beautiful, beautiful trade, USAR, from a couple of days ago. I had nice profits in it. I didn't hold it through today, but I know some people did, and they squeezed out quite a bit more. We're getting a news candle, Lucille. No, I don't see any news candles here. That just looks huge because we haven't gone anywhere today. Am I concerned with Groupon clearing the resistance from 3.424 and 3.1324? Let's look. Last year. Let me draw some lines there. Well, the lines that on Groupon for 3.424. Those weren't the only high volume candle I got there. Is an area is 1956. 1956 was on 3.13. That's a high volume candle. That is the major resistance right there. Now there's another one here back further, way back, which is at 2096. That goes back into 2022. I don't really see any the resistance. This is what I've got on resistance on Groupon right now with high volume candles. 1956, which it's going through, to 2096. This is the void I see for Groupon. Yeah, you know, Ryan, one of the things I do on when I'm looking for the support resistance levels is I look for volume on the candles that create that. Low volume candles, I just don't offer anywhere near as much support or resistance as high volume candles do. Obviously, if there's a lot more volume, it's much more likely that their institutions are involved in the trade. SPY coming back down again now as we roll up to 11:45 here. It'll be lunch here soon. Roger, USB was excellent. Yeah, that was a nice. It was a nice trade against a tough market to pick off good trades. It really, really is tough. We haven't done very many, but you know we had some good ones before recently.
Remember, it's just checking these,
This was a bad one here, TGX, but SQQQ was good. This was a break even. This was a good one. NNE was a good one that we closed out. Sarepta was a nice one. Nike was huge. We made nice profits in Nike. AVGO was a good one. So we've closed a bunch of good trades. We just haven't been able to take very many. But you know we're making money. You know, each last month, this month. But we have to be very selective as we always are. So. Again, if you're looking for a lot of trades, this is not the time to be looking for a lot of trades, and I don't take a lot of trades, generally speaking, anyway. Roger, quality is always better than quantity. Yeah, listen, over trading is one of the biggest mistakes that most retail traders make. It's as simple as that. They get bored, they want to be in trades, they revenge trade, they got to be in trades all the time, they got to make their money back, they're watching their P&L. So many. I mean, I did a video on that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pop that into the YouTube, the 11 most common mistakes that traders make. It's like a little ebook thing. WMB definitely overtraded today. This shouldn't be, it shouldn't be taking a lot of trades today. I mean the market is gap down and this is just chop. And you know the daily chart of a SPY is just not giving us any direction to trade. I mean we've had some crazy action with the SPY coming down here. This was a big correction. Then we leveled out, and then we had the tariff talk. Tariff talk down, 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 down. Tariff taken off, up, 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 up. Everybody jumps on the long here. If they jump on the short here, they jump on the long here. They get trapped on the short. They get trapped on the long. And now we're just chopping. This is just chop. You can see we're still inside of this candle from last Wednesday, and I wouldn't be surprised if we stay inside of it for a while longer. 550.50 is a resistance on the SPY right there. That will be interesting to see if we can get through that. All the moving averages are still up here, above here. There's no direction to this market. Again, you can try to get short, and then you get nailed by these gaps. So intraday trading, small number of trades is what I'm doing. That's what I would recommend. Spy right back down to the VWAP again.
is coming up. We do a Fed speak out by Beth Hammock. She is a non-voter. We will also be posting a link to that event in the news desk.
Not too much to talk about here. It's just we haven't gone anywhere. We'll move up, we'll move down. We haven't gone anywhere. This was the open this morning, right there. 531.52. This was the high. This is the whole range here. Just a doji candle for today. SPY is below the 8 and the 15 on that gap down.
They don't like yours upstairs.
Oh, that's right. Soup. Allison this morning.
Good, tired.
Busy?
For today.
Commentary out by Fed's Hammock's strong case to hold policy steady for now. Policy patience will allow Fed to gather more data in the economy. This is commentary out by Fed's Hammock. Says being slow, reacting correctly would be better than going too fast. This is continued commentary out by Fed's Hammock. If market holds, inflation rises, more restrictive policy needed. posting in the news desk is a link to Fed Hammock's speech.
You have to see the doctor again before you go for an operation. Where does he operate at?
Worker.
Okay.
West Park Street. Good.
Sign?
Yeah, they don't need to clean the shower because Allison hasn't showered in there since later last year.
Just don't do shower in the last that bedroom.
Yeah, the spare.
Spare bedroom.
Yeah, they don't, why clean it if nobody used it?
Yeah, they'll do it automatically unless you tell them otherwise.
Otherwise, yeah. Just to cover the shower.
All right, gonna get ready for lunch here in just a minute. Coming up on about a little after 12 o'clock. Getting a little hungry. The market had one little pop here. Can make a little profit. That's it. Back it comes back down again. And now it's set up for a short. You dare take it? I don't. Not with this support down here, but I mean there is a little bit of room to the downside if it confirms. Switch over to your Hikinachi, see if you get a Hikinachi reversal candle, which you do. You can actually have a Hikinachi reversal candle up here. So this is a continuation of the reversal, but you couldn't take it before it gets through the VWAP. So now you take it as it goes through the VWAP. If you want to take it. I'm not taking this one. I don't trust this market at all. All right, thanks everybody over in YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the YouTube feed so I can get some lunch. We will see you again tomorrow. Again, Friday's a holiday, remember, so market will be closed on Friday. So we'll be here tomorrow, but Friday will be a day off. All right, thanks very much, YouTube folks. We'll see you tomorrow.